Hey, welcome to Game Dev Garage. In this channel, I'm sharing game devs and live streams when I'm working on my game projects. If you watched previous live streams or videos, you may notice that I'm working on a framework that will help to develop more games easily for me and for my team. So let's get just started. So I was coding today. I'm working on crafting system, and I'm adding a craft view and crafting mechanic into the framework. So I'll just keep working on this project. So if you have any questions, please write into comment sections. So let's get started quickly. So actually, I already made an inventory system. So I can have items, I can have chests and move items between these inventories. And now I just want to add this kind of view in the right side of the screen. So we're going to be able to craft items if we have learned recipes and if we have required items. So let's take a look. Yeah, it's gonna be like this. Oops, I cannot hide it. Okay. So here, normally we can just move around, take items, pick up items from ground like this. If I hit tab, I open inventory. So it works as I planned. So I can have chests here. So I can move from inventory to chest or the opposite. I just added, character went down. So I just added this view here. Actually, I want to enable the lists based on learned recipes, okay? So normally here, we have an inventory here, so I added a component named craft recipe list, which will include the items we learned to craft. So all the information about this item will be inside the item component. For example, if we need to have a small health item and necklace item to make a regular health item, so this is the actual recipe for crafting this item. Okay, so here, if we add this item here, so we know that we already learned this item. So maybe we can just collect some papers that includes recipes, or we can find a cookbook like thing to learn that kind of things. Or maybe if we complete some quests, and when we completed the quests, maybe the job owner can give us the recipe. So we can add that mechanic much later. Now I just want to make the crafting system work in this session. I don't know if I will be able to complete all the mechanic just in this video, but this is gonna give you some idea about how it works. So guys, if you are watching me in the first time, check links in the description. I'm making a game. Actually, I'm working on a few game projects right at the moment. So check links in the description to wishlist my games. Okay, this framework is rather a new project. So actually we are working on RPG game, RPG like craft survival open world, very mixed kind of game. So this is gonna be the infrastructure for that. Actually I'm quite excited about this project. Actually, we added a lot of features, so hopefully it's gonna be really cool game. By the way, you can find the older videos and live streams, especially if you check the live stream tab in the YouTube. So you can find the older history on this framework project. Okay, so let me remember where I were left. Okay, so actually I linked crafting view to the inventory that we opened, and I need to get the recipe list. So we already got the craft recipe list component here. So let me check the craft recipe list component here. So we have craft item lists list here. So we're gonna get asset referencer. This is I'm using Unity's addressable assets. Actually, this is really cool feature that helps you keep all the prefabs in a database and access them and use them when you need them. Not necessary to load all the prefabs to the memory, so you can keep infinite number of objects in the addressable list. Oh, welcome. Thank you, Esra. Welcome. Esra is my wife. Okay, so we have craft recipe list, craft recipes dot craft item list. Actually, this is a list of asset referencer. As reference, so maybe we can add using here addressable. So I'm gonna find it. Addressable. Yes. Okay. I'm gonna add it here to access it easier. Okay, so I will just check. Actually, I can add all the lists to here. Okay, so we need the item icon and item title, and yes. So I designed this UI yesterday or the day before. So we have viewport, and here we have two different items. One is the enabled one, which will have a brighter color both on title and the icon. If we choose it, it's gonna be highlighted, and the other one is disabled. So that means we are unable to craft this item. We learned it, but we are unable to craft it because we don't have enough ingredients in our inventory. So first let's handle the list of recipes we learned here. So I'm gonna put a for loop. Maybe I should just get the recipe list. Okay, equals, yeah, and I use that kind of naming convention. Count. Okay, so I'll keep things lowercase if I define it inside this function. So here we go. Recipe list. So we are gonna have an image which will be item image, and probably we need to use using engine Unity UI. Okay, we have item image which will be recipe list I dot. Aha, so we need to load this. Yes. Let me describe it. Normally, we are looping through that list. If Unity lets me do that. Unity, get away. Okay, so here this is the list we are looping, and this is an addressable asset, which is just an GUID. Okay, this is just an ID, not a prefab. So first I need to load it, and after load completed all of the items, I need to handle the logic. So this is gonna be some kind of async operation. This is not atomic or synchronized. Okay, so first we need to make a list of game objects which loaded by the asset reference. Okay, it's going to be a little bit confusing, so I just realized that. So actually I can game objects new list. Okay, this is gonna be, actually I want to name it like this: item game objects. Okay, so here we need to load each asset and add it to item game objects when we loaded it. So I need to check some kind of codes I wrote before. Yeah, I can use this part like a snippet. Maybe this part would be okay. I think this is gonna be okay. I'm not sure if these are same, but okay. So here we go. So we have the actually asset lists, asset reference list. Okay, so we are looping through asset reference list, and sref is gonna be just this asset ref list I. And if sref runtime key is valid, which we have valid asset referencer, we don't need to localize I. Item data is not required. We're gonna just get the image from item component and the title of the item. Addressable. Okay. Let's remove this. So keep it simple. So if we succeeded, so we need to using async operation. Okay. Item game object. Item game object is going to be instantiated. No, I don't want to instantiate it. I just want to add it to our list. Add handle.results. Okay. We don't want to instantiate anything. Actually, convert from string. Okay, actually this method creates an asset reference from a string, which will representing the ID of the asset. So we can make it like this. We are going to just use the asset ref and load the asset. Okay, so we will be adding it to a game object list. So I need something to handle all. I need to wait everything loaded before moving on. Okay. Here I will add an integer waiting to load equals 0. Waiting to load. So when we called load asset async, maybe we are just before calling it, I will increment the waiting to load number 1 by 1, and after I added it to the list, which will be called later after we executed this function. Later it is going to be 1 second. This waiting to load integer should be in scope of class. Okay, waiting to load count. Sometimes I'm going really crazy by naming things because I want to make everything describes itself. Okay, otherwise everything becomes very confusing very quickly. You are gonna easily forget everything about the code you wrote before. Okay, if we just start it, we're gonna make it 0 before we starting, and we are going to be making it plus and make it minus minus after we added it to the list. So if we have an error, we need to make a warning like this. Crafting wheel, build content, runtime key is invalid, runtime time key is invalid. Recipe list index, recipe craft item list index. So it will help us to debug if something happens later. Okay. Runtime key is invalid. Okay, so I think we did it. After we added it to list and the loading completed, this function, build content function, will be executed and completed way before. So I will add another function here, loading done function. Okay, this will be called when we loaded something and added to the list. Okay, so here we are going to check if waiting to load count equals minus or equals. It's impossible to be minus, but I just want to be sure. 0. Okay, Waiting to load count. So here, if we, maybe I can just invert this if, and if we not loaded, not all the assets loaded, we just do nothing. And yes. So here I want to add as situation. Okay. So I was thinking about the waiting to load count incremented here, increased here, and decremented here. So I was thinking if there is an invalid situation. So this will not be incremented. So there's nothing wrong with the number of waiting to load count. Okay, this is gonna be fine. So here we're gonna make the, we're gonna handle the list. Okay, so this list also should be global in class scope. Okay, so I will add it here. Item game objects. Maybe we can rename it to loaded game objects. Okay, I think it is okay. Guys, actually, live streams are being very slow phased, I know. I will just make one live stream each week. I will prefer to make it on Wednesday. So enable notifications if you want to catch me when I go live. And I'm planning to release 1 or 2 devlog videos like I did before. A fast-paced and much more enjoyable and heavily edited devlog videos. One maybe in a week or maybe in every 2 weeks. So at the same time I'm working on development projects and it's not easy to handle all the things together. So if you keep in touch, just enable notifications and subscribe to the channel. Okay, load game objects became accessible class-wise scope. So here, let's make a for loop for this. For pounds. Okay. All right. I want to get the icon, the image of the item, and the name of the item. So here is our item. Yes. So if I get health item component from that, it will just work because we have it here. The image is here. The name of the item is the item itself. Game object names itself. Okay. Inventory item. load objects I dot get component inventory item. Okay, if item is not null, we can get the image from the item. Image item image is item dot item image. Pretty simple, but it is sprite. Okay, sprite. We get the sprite, and let's define a string. Item name equals item dot name, but I want to get rid of the underscores. Okay, let me check out the string replace B#. I forgot it because I'm working on dozens of projects at the same time. Yes, old and new. Yeah, okay. So we can just call dot replace. Okay. This is an static string, static method. String dot replace. Oh, why it doesn't work? Okay, so the first one was correct one. Okay, I want to get rid of these underscores, replace with a space. Okay, I have name and image. Probably we need to keep the link to the item itself, or at least we need to get the recipe from here. Yes, but for now I just want to list this guys here. I first just need to list. I'll note it here. We need to get recipe. Actually, we need to get just get the recipe and add it to a list. Okay. Here will be made later, implemented later. Okay, so we can actually, where were our craft view code? So here we have crafting view. So this is crafting view. This is craft recipe list. Actually, this is gonna be private, and this is also gonna be private. This is gonna be private. Yes. So I need to have a component link to here. Come on, Unity. Come on. link to here the item list content group. Okay, this group, item list content. So let's add it to our component. Okay. Oops. Public transform item list content. So yeah, let's link it. Then I will be able to instantiate the lists from our code. Yeah, item list content link. Okay, so we need to have our prefab to instantiate the list elements like these guys. Item list, item entry enabled, disabled. So this is our entry, and so we need to add an kind of component like an item entry to get the link to these two objects and handle the click feature. So let's add it here. Find the crafting view, maybe this way. Inventory, crafting view, item slots, item craft item entry. Let's create a script, craft item entry. Okay. Aha, I can also keep track to the recipe in this component, isn't it? Actually, this item entry will include all the data we need to keep in track. So we can populate all the information about the item and the recipe, the ingredients to crafting that item. Okay, this is gonna be actually, I don't know if it's a good idea to keep everything in this thing, but it looks okay. It looks okay for now. So let's put it here, item, craft item entry. Actually, this is like an menu item. Okay, so item icon, item tile. So let's add those links. Okay, first, public image, item image. Yes, we need to get the Unity UI here, and we need to add the text, title text here, public text, item title. Actually, this is not title, item, this is item name. Yes. Okay. This is the icon, this is the name, item image, item name, item image, item name. Okay. So we need to populate it populate the list using this object. I'll make it prefab, and we need to have a few modes for this because it's going to be selected or unselected or disabled. We can select a disabled object like this, but it's going to be still unable. We are going to be we are not going to be able to craft it. Okay, I just want to see how it looks like when it's disabled and it's same time selected. Yeah, it still looks like disabled. Okay, no problem. So let's make it a prefab. I need to find the other UI elements I made prefab. Probably it's gonna be here. Inventory, item slots. Okay. This is craft item entry, so I will rename it crafts item entry and put it here to make a prefab. Okay. This is the image. We can just enable and disable the image, the background image, okay? Maybe later we can make them just buttons. But for now, I'll just keep it a raw image right now. So here in crafting view, we need to link to this prefab to populate. So let's add it to here. Actually, we have item list content here. Okay, after the content, let's add a game object. Game objects. Craft item entry prefab. Okay. It was hard, but we achieved to rename it. Craft item entry prefab. Okay. Okay, let's link it here. I'm making everything step by step. Okay, here we go. This is our prefab. Put it here. So we're going to be able to populate these guys here. Okay, here we go. This is the prefab. Okay, so game object go is instantiate. The original game object is this prefab, and we just have to give the parent, which will be the craft item, actually item list content, and that's all. Before loading the content, we should clear the content to make sure the menu is empty when we started. Hey Obra, welcome. Welcome. How are you doing? Is everything okay? So I'm working on the framework. I'm adding a crafting feature to the inventory view. Very satisfying and very slow development live stream right now. Okay, so I'll add actually we can put clear contents function here before building it. Yes, and build contents. Okay, we need to clear all children of this transform. Clear all children. I would love to have that kind of function, but I'll just make a for loop for that. Child counts. Get child. I destroy it. Yep. So if we close the inventory and reopen it, it should be clear and rebuilt every time we open it. Otherwise, all the items will be building up. Okay. Instantiate it. So we need to get the we get components, craft item entry component here, craft item entry components. Okay, craft item entry. Okay, CIE dot item image equals image dot sprite equals item image, and item name dot text equals item name. Okay, we set the name and we set the image. Okay, hopefully it should work. Okay. Come on. Yes, let me check it again. This is the transform, this is the prefab, and I'll just disable this just before we hit play and test it. Yes, let's hide the inventory screen, and actually we can just hide inventory and game screen, but I don't want to touch it here. I will do it when I play the game. So here the inventory, we have health item. Health item requires small health item and a necklace item. So we should be seeing just health item name and icon when we hit the inventory. Okay. Of course, it's not working just right now. but now it should. Yes, we have health item, icon here, and name here, which is cool. Not very easy to read, but designing things will be later. Health item. Okay. Cool. So let's by the way, there's something wrong here. Can't remove rect transform because image depends on it. Ah. Whoa. Why it's not able to destroy them? It should be clearing, but it's not. Why? Maybe it's because we just started it enabled. Says okay, so we are trying to destroy the transform to clear. Here we need to destroy the game object. Okay, sorry, destroy get child dot game object. Yes, cool. Let me test it again. Come on, Unity, come on. You can do this. Excellent connection. So here, I will just hide it. Yeah, it works. It clears the content and rebuilds it. So I think it's okay for now. What can I add next? Actually, we should add maybe 4 or 5 more features. So one is gonna be the handling the recipe thing here. And we need to add something to disable and enable this thing, and we need to get something like some kind of callback when we click the craft item entry. Let's make a function like this init action clicked callback. This is going to be called when we clicked on the item entry. Okay. And we need something that enable and disable the entry. So it's going to be like this: enabled. Okay, we need to initialize it by sending the enabled or disabled information here and a clicked callback action here. So what happens when we disable it? I just maybe we could just use a toggle group here. I'm not sure, but I don't want to stick with too much dependency with Unity's system. So I want to handle the toggling feature by myself, which is very easy to handle. It's not much complicated. So here, let me check. The item icon has different kind of color, and same thing happens for the title itself. So for the icon, let's copy this color 0050. Actually, I want to use RGB. Okay, 128. Okay, 128. Public color tables image whoa, image color, and disable text color. Disable image color, disable text color. If not enabled, we need to track the value of enabled mode. Recipe entry enabled. Entry enabled. Entry enabled is enabled. Okay, so if not entry enabled, we should change the color of the image. Image.color equals disabled image color, and yeah, item name dot color should be disabled text color, and yes, it should be disabled. So here, when we populate, after we set the sprite and text, we need to initialize it, and we need to set the enabled value here. Let's make it true right now. I'll add a function here, like void clicked, entry clicked. So we need to get item entry reference here. Whoop. Craft item entry. So I will pass this method, and yeah, we need to change the definition of this action because we need to have the parameter action, yeah, craft item entry. So here, okay, it should be handled. So let's see it. It should be enabled right now. So I will change it to false to check it. Let's play. Okay. Yes, this is enabled. Okay, this is enabled, so let's make it false to make them disabled. So it should be darker color both for image and the text. Inventory screen, game screen. Okay. Whoop. Ah, so we didn't define the color, of course. My bad. We need to define the color for this. Okay, disabled image color and disabled text color. So this is gonna be disabled image color. Actually, yeah, disabled image color here, and disabled text color is gonna be like this. Okay, so let's override it to the prefab. Let's hit play. Disabling unnecessary things. Let's hit play. Hit the inventory. Yes, it is disabled right now. It looks okay. So I will keep adding new features. I will add selecting feature to the list. When I selected one, the others will be unselected, and the selected one will be represented here. And if it is craftable, if it is enabled, craft button will be visible here. So when we hit craft, it will just take the recipe items from our inventory and make the item and add it to our inventory. Yeah, I think we achieved a reasonable result in this live stream. Before I wrapped up the video, hey Sam, welcome. So before wrapping up, I just want to show you the game I worked on for a very long time. This is SpaceKraft. Please check links in the description, guys. If you want to support me, please wishlist this game. Wishlists are extremely important to support indie game developers. So if you like the content in this channel, please add it to your wishlist. So please give your ideas on Discord server, or you can just write in the comment section. Yeah, so I will launch this game in a few months, hopefully after Steam Next Fest in June. So thank you for joining me, and see you in the next live session or video. Bye bye guys, take care.